everybody, it is April and I'm in my craft room, and today we are going to make a crazy block featuring animal prints. We are going crazy! I have had this fat quarter for a while. I don't know why I keep holding on to it. I think I just, it's so pretty and it looks so nice, but that's it. Today, it's coming apart. Okay. This is called Safari, and it is by QT Fabrics. What I want to do is make what I'm calling crazy blocks. We are going crazy! Crazy blocks are blocks that you cut yourself that don't necessarily have a set cut pattern. And I will show you what that means. First, let me show you these fabrics. This looks like a snakeskin. Zebra, tiger. I'm not sure. Is this cheetah? Let me know in the comments if you know what this is. I'm going with cheetah, zebra, black and white giraffe maybe? This looks like that same one I don't know. Maybe it's a Dalmatian. White tiger. Let's say black and white cheetah. I'm going to press these and then I will show you how to cut them out. I am done pressing my fat quarters. Keep in mind, you don't have to use fat quarters. You can use yardage because I'm going to cut a particular sized block. I should say a square. A square. Anyway, I'm going to cut a particular size square out of this fabric, so it doesn't have to be a fat quarter. I'm going to use my handy dandy 12.5-inch square ruler. You can use whatever size ruler you want. You can use 8.5, 9.5, 8, 7, 2.5. I wouldn't use 2.5. If you want to use a 2.5-inch block, more power to you. That's way too small for me. So let me cut out my 12.5-inch squares, and then I will show you how we're going to go crazy. We are going crazy. I do not need to stack these neatly. I need to stack them decently, but not neatly. I'm going to set my 12.5-inch ruler right here. Make sure I'm past the selvage edge. Make sure I've got all of my pieces of my fat quarter here. And then I'm going to trim this down. Notice I put it on the corner of my table so I can cut from either side. I now have a 12.5-inch block. I actually have several. I believe I have 5. I'm going to keep these stacked neatly because what I'm going to do next requires only this, and for these to be stacked together neatly. Now, I said you don't need any special tools for this project, and you don't. But if you happen to have a rotating cutting mat, it comes in quite handy for multiple reasons. Number one, you can turn your fabric around to cut it, and it makes it easier. This is 14 inches, I believe, so my 12.5-inch block will fit just fine on this platform. Another thing that I use that's on this rotating cutting mat, which would be on probably any cutting mat that you will use, are these lines. Because when I go crazy, I'm going to go crazy with 45 degrees, 60 degrees, 30 degrees, whichever angle I choose. We are going crazy. Here's where you have to make a decision. Which line are you going to use on your mat? Or are you going to use a line at all? Take your ruler and cut from one side of your block to the other, going this way. And then from one side of your block to the other, going this way. I am just going to pick a spot and I am going to cut. Now I want to make sure it's apart, and it is, before I move my ruler. Then with a rotating cutting mat, I can turn it and I can go crazy the other way. I'm going to cut this way. I'm going to take one and put the print from the top to the bottom. I'm going to take the other and I'm going to take the first two prints and I'm going to move them from the top to the bottom. I bet you can guess what I'm going to do with the next one. I'm going to take the top three prints and move those to the bottom of that stack. And then I have a crazy animal print block. Now you might be asking, April, why are you using your ruler when they make rulers specifically for crazy quilt blocks? That is an excellent question. I even have some of the rulers that were made for crazy quilt blocks. This is a hack. And the hack is, you don't have to buy these particular rulers. Just use the ruler that you already have. But the ruler I already have means that I have to do a little futzing around in order to get my block to be square. That is absolutely true. So let me show you what I mean by futzing around. Now I'm going to match my edges here and here, but this is not going to come out perfectly, and that's okay because I trim it down. Yes, dear. Here I've sewn the two halves together, and you can see that these are not even. I'm going to take my ruler and I am going to remove this excess. Now this will impact the size of my block, but I'm okay with that because I can adjust how wide my exterior strip is. So I'm going to trim that and then I will lay this out. I'm not going to be worried about my seams meeting, and that way I'll only lose about 1/4 inch from the end. So here you see I'm losing some fabric here, and I'm losing some fabric here. I'm going to lose a little bit here. Once I trim it down, it might not even be square. But I never said that crazy blocks were for the faint of heart. Here is my block. But it's kind of fun to know you can make these blocks on the fly and you don't have to have the ruler. So what you see behind me has taken me forever. Do you know how hard it is to match animal print? Have you ever thought about it? I'm happy with how this turned out. But at first, when I just had my block, I thought, how am I going to match that? So I Googled it, and Google brought up clothing. And with the clothing, you have a shirt that's animal print and a cute teal jacket or green pants, and it looked great, right? Not so much in a quilt block. Not so much in a quilt block. So once I came to the realization that pastel colors were not going to be the way that I wanted to go, and I ripped all of the borders in the pastel colors off of the blocks that I had created, I decided black. Actually, D said, I love the black. So I had the black, but it needed something else. So I had a light gray, and I put the light gray around it. This one I did a wider border in gray and a skinnier border in black. This one I did a wider border in black, skinnier border in gray. And then I decided, you know what? I've had enough of the crazy quilt block. So I just cut large squares of my animal print directly. And I'm going to border those in black and gray. Back to the quilt at hand. So I will add the borders to these big animal print blocks, and then I will put the whole thing together and we'll see how it looks. My quilt top is complete. I didn't think I was ever going to be able to say that for this one. It's 9 blocks. I haven't decided if I'm going to put a border around it, but I am really happy with the way that my crazy blocks came out. And I kind of like the big, bold blocks with the animal prints because I really do like animal prints. I don't know how much I like them after this quilt, but I swear I do like animal prints. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Eat some chocolate and be kind to everyone. Until next time, bye. Now I need to get rid of this Christmas candy, and honestly, eating it is not the way that I should be getting rid of it. But York peppermint patties, one of my faves. And these are blocks that don't have... I am done. You can turn your fabric around. You can turn your fabric around. It looks like a razor.